Hey students, today I am going to tell you what is work, power and energy. And today is our first topic, so we will study only work. This is very important chapter 2nd in your books. Okay. So what is work? Work is force into displacement. Okay, lot of time you are watching television, you are cooking vegetables, or you are using your mobile phones. You say you are doing lot of work, but in physics this is not work. Work is only said to be done. Work is only said to be done whenever there is a force and there is a displacement. Okay, what do I mean by this? Suppose I apply a lot of force on this whiteboard, and this whiteboard doesn't displaces at all, doesn't moves at all. So the work done by me according to physics will be 0. Though I am spending a lot of energy, I am pushing it, I am getting exhausted. But according to physics, the work done is 0. So work is force into displacement. What is the SI unit of work? So the SI unit of force is Newton. Displacement is meter. So it becomes Newton meter, also called as joule. What is the CGS unit of work? Centimeter gram second unit. So force CGS unit is dyne. Displacement centimeter. So it becomes dyne centimeter, which is also called arc. So you got to remember this. Newton meter is called joule. Dyne centimeter is called arc. Newton meter is the SI unit. Dyne centimeter is the CGS unit. Now what comes in ICSE is the relation between joules and arc. Joules and arc. Joule is the SI unit. Arc is the CGS unit. So 1 joule is equals to what? 1 Newton into 1 meter. And what is 1 Newton? 1 Newton is 10 to the power 5 dyne. This we have done in chapter 4. You can watch my lectures of force. They are there on the YouTubes on my channel only. Okay. So 1 Newton contains 10 to the power 5 dyne. And 1 meter contains 100 centimeter. This you must be knowing. 1 meter has 100 centimeter. And 1 Newton is 10 to the power 5 dyne. So 10 to the power 5 and 2. So it becomes 10 to the power 7. And dyne centimeter is arc. So 10 to the power 7 arc. So 1 joule bachcho contains 10 to the power 7. Okay, till now we studied that what is the formula for work? Work is equals to force multiplied by displacement. And what is displacement? It is denoted by S. And this is force. And what is the unit of work? Yes, bachcho. Force is measured in Newton. Displacement in meter. So it becomes joules. Newton meter is called joule. Now we are going to do 2 questions from work. So the first question is very simple. Force is 10 Newton. Displacement is 2 meter. So what is the work? Force multiplied by displacement. So it becomes 10 Newton into 2 meter. So it becomes 20 Newton meter. And what is Newton meter? What is Newton meter? It is joules. So it becomes 20 joules. So 20 joules of work is done. What is the second question? When earth revolves around the sun, what is the work done? In a round trip. The earth leaves its position and returns back. So you see, in a round trip, what is the displacement? What is the displacement? The displacement in a round trip is 0. How? Displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So when someone or earth returns back to its initial position, then what is the displacement? 0. What is the distance between the initial position and final position? There is no distance between them. So it is 0. And hence, very important, work is equals to force into displacement. and it comes out to be 0. So no work is done when Earth revolves in a complete circle, in a round trip around Sun, because displacement is 0. So this gives a very good analogy. Suppose you take your cycle and go to school, zoom, 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 zoom. You do a lot of work over there. You get back to home and you say, I have done a lot of work. But according to physics, you have done 0 work because you have returned back to your original position. And hence your displacement is 0. So whenever the displacement is 0, the work done is 0. When moon revolves around Earth, then also the work done is 0. But wait, this is not the proper explanation for this particular question. So what it is, you will learn further. Okay student, now you will study the real formula of work. What is the real formula of work? It is force multiplied by displacement multiplied by cos theta. So what is this cos theta? Suppose the force is applied in some direction and displacement takes place in some other direction. And the angle between displacement and force is theta. Then work done is force into displacement into cos of this theta. What? Cos of this theta. What is cos of theta? It is some mathematical ratio. Okay. How will you calculate it? I'll give you the value for it. Okay. You just remember work is force into displacement into cos theta. And what is theta? Theta is the angle between force and displacement. Now you must be having in your mind that sir told me wrong earlier. No, I told you correct. This formula was also correct. Force into displacement, but only in a particular condition. Which condition? Let us see. If force is in this direction and displacement is also in this direction. So when force and displacement are in the same direction, then what is the angle between force and displacement? Yes, 0 degree. The angle between them is 0. They are along the same line. And hence work formula, force into displacement into cos theta. And what is theta now? 0. So force into displacement into cos 0. Okay. And cos 0 has a value 1. This you have to remember. Okay. This is very important that cos 0 has value 1. So it becomes force into displacement into 1. And now the formula becomes force into displacement. So this formula is correct when force and displacement are in same direction. And this formula is always correct. Okay. Force into displacement into cos theta. This is always true. Okay. What is theta? Angle between force and displacement. If they are in the same direction, the angle becomes 0. And we have cos 0. And cos 0 has value 1. So you got to remember this, that cos 0 has value 1. Okay, the third and very important case. Okay, note it down. Okay, this is very important. When force and displacement are perpendicular, what is the angle between them? The angle is 90 degree. When force and displacement are what? Perpendicular. Then work is equals to force into displacement into cos theta, and theta is 90. So we put cos 90. So force into displacement. Wait, what is this? Cos 90 has value 0. Okay, cos 0 has value 1 and cos 90 has value 0. So force into displacement into 0. So work comes out to be 0. So we can say no work done. So whenever force and displacement are perpendicular, no work is done. Now this was the example I was explaining you. Wait, how? Just wait a second. Okay, so we took an example when Earth was revolving around Sun. Yes, here was Sun and here was Earth, and Earth was revolving around Sun, and you said that work done is equals to force into displacement, and you said that in the round trip, in the round trip, you said that displacement is 0, so work comes out to be 0. Okay, this is partially correct and partially wrong. Why it is wrong? Suppose I ask you, what is the work done in the same case in half trip? What, students? What I have asked? Half trip. Suppose the Earth doesn't revolve a full circle, it only goes to a half trip. Then what is the work done by Earth? Now you are confused. In half trip, the displacement is from here up till here, and this displacement is not 0. Then what is the work done? What is the work done? What is the work done? So we have to get the original concept. Okay. So what is the original concept? The original concept is that the formula of work is force into displacement into cos theta. So we shouldn't be missing this thing. Okay. So let us write the correct formula. Work is equals to force into displacement into cos theta. Okay. Now you see, Earth is attracted by Sun like this. Why? Because Sun pulls Earth towards itself due to gravitational force. Okay. So this is the force here. Gravitational force. This is the direction of force. Now I ask you, what is the direction of displacement? It depends. Yes, over here the direction of displacement is like this. Yes, the Earth wants to go like this. If I talk about this position, then Earth is going like this, then this is the displacement. If I talk about this position, Earth is going like this, so this is the displacement. Okay. And what is the direction of force over here? Towards the Sun. What is the direction of force over here? Towards the Sun. Now as you can see, force and displacement have how much angle? 90 degree. Yes, students, always 90 degree. Over here also 90 degree. Over here also 90 degree. When Earth revolves around Sun, everywhere the force and displacement are perpendicular. So this becomes Fs cos 90, and cos 90 is 0. So it becomes 0. So no work is done even in the half trip, because at each point, where bachcho? At each point, force is perpendicular to displacement, theta is 90, and hence work done is 0. At every point on the path, the work done is 0. Suppose I ask you, in 1/4 trip, quarter of trip, what is the work done? The answer will be 0, because at every point the displacement and force are perpendicular. Okay, I hope this is clear. Similar, you can answer, what is the work done when moon revolves around Earth? So when moon revolves around Earth, the force is towards the center and displacement is like this. Similarly, you can answer, suppose a boy is reeling a stone, okay, tied in a string, okay, and like this, reeling it, zoom, 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 zoom. What is the work done? Not in round trip, in half trip, in quarter trip, in any place. What is the work done? So you see, the stone is pulled inward by which force? Tension force. In wires or string, there is a force, tension force. And how I draw this direction? The direction of tension force is always away from the point. Remember this. Remember this. This is very helpful. The direction of tension is always away from the point. And what is the displacement? Like this. So what is the angle? 90 degree. And again the work done is 0. So in a circular motion, you can say for class 10th level that the work done is 0. Okay, so till now we have studied that work is equals to force into displacement into cos theta, where theta is the angle between force and displacement. And what is the unit of work? What is the unit of work? The unit of force is Newton, displacement meter. So it becomes what? Joule, denoted by capital J. And we have studied very important information that when force and displacement are at 90 degree, when theta is 90 degree, then work done is force into displacement into cos 90, and cos 90 is 0. So work done is 0. So there is a question which always comes in ICSE, just like the sun earth question. It is a very important question. What? Suppose there is a coolie. What? Suppose there is a coolie and he is carrying a load on his head and walking like this. Okay. So in which direction the force of gravity is acting? Gravity downwards. Gravity downwards. The earth is pulling the weight downwards, but he is walking like this. So what is the displacement? Like this. So the displacement of a coolie who is carrying a load on his head. Okay, a coolie is carrying a load on his head and walking like this. So its displacement is like this. And what is the direction of force on this load, this weight? Vertically downwards, because of earth. The gravity of earth pulls this load. So this is the direction of force. So what is the angle between them? Yes, 90 degree. So theta is 90 and immediately you can say work done is 0. So what is the work done by a coolie when he is carrying a load on his head? The work done is 0. Against which force? Against the force of gravity, which is applied by earth. So there are many examples that work done is 0 whenever force and displacement are perpendicular. Is this clear? This is going to be asked in ICSE. It has came many times in the paper, many a times. Okay? Okay students, now I am going to tell you what is power. Power, someone pronounce it, but it is actually power. So what is power? Power is defined as rate of doing work. At what speed you are doing the work. At what speed the work is being done. Suppose I say the power of an electric bulb. You see electric bulb at home. It is suppose it is 100 watt. 100 watt. So what do you mean by this? When we purchase a bulb from a shopkeeper, we say give us a bulb of 60 watt of power 100 watt. So what do you mean by this? So let us understand. The formula for power is, students, work divided by time. Work divided by time. So it is the rate of doing work. Work divided by time. Like speed of work. Yeah. When we have to find speed, we divide something by time. So it is the speed of doing work. How fast the work is done. How great the work is done. No. How fast the work is done. Okay. So work has unit joules. Time has unit seconds. So power has units joules per second, also called watt. Watt, denoted by capital letter W. Okay, so the SI unit of power is watt and the formula for power is work divided by time. Okay, so what do you mean by the statement that an electric bulb has a power of 100 watt? How much? 100 watt. What do you mean by 100 watt? What do you mean by it? Watt means joules per second. So we can say 100 joules per second. So this is a bulb which is going to emit how much energy? 100 joule. In how much time? In 1 second. Suppose I tell you to purchase a heater of power. You see, heater have a very great power. Okay, a power 1000 watt. What do you mean by this? 1000 joules per second. So how much energy it is withdrawing from the electric board? 1000 joule. In how much time? In 1 second. Suppose I told you to get me a bulb of power 5 watt. So how much energy it is withdrawing? 5 joule. In how much time? 1 second. So it is the speed of doing work. So this is all from work. The next topic we will study will be energy.